Welcome everybody to our broadcast today. We're on number 36. Last week's broadcast brought about a lot of questions and a lot of interest on how to improve your brain's elasticity or neuroplasticity and how to challenge your mind. So we'll give people another 5 seconds to get on the broadcast today, and I'm going to expand on that subject for today. If it's of any interest to you, then you should stay on the broadcast. And anything that has to do with your brain and how to improve cognitive function, I think it should be of interest to you. It is for me. It's very important. So I'm thinking you will stay on the broadcast. It would be a very smart decision. So going on what we did last week, did you do some of the things that we talked about? We talked about box breathing and how to use that to increase blood flow to the brain. Did you do those or that particular breathing pattern? And were you able to expand your box to make it into a 5x5 or a 6x6, 10x10 and so forth? Maybe just let me know in the comment section. And if you haven't seen that video, then you should go back to last week and just review it. One thing to keep in mind is, of all the nutrients that you consume in a day, 20% of those nutrients are consumed by your brain. So what are you putting into your body? That's a really good question. So if the quality of the food that you consume is of poor quality, then your brain is absorbing 20% of that. So be very smart, do research, and really clean up your diet. That's the first thing to maintaining good health, your brain, elasticity, neuroplasticity. If you have friends or family members that are in a situation where they are losing their mind, it's very, very difficult. And I have a friend who is almost 90 years old, and I'm seeing the results of mental diseases like Alzheimer's and stuff like that. Very difficult. So I'm trying to prevent as much as I can that disease, and there's no guarantees, but I'm trying to put all the odds on my side to stay alert, to have very good memory, good brain function. This is why it's so important to me, and that's why I'm talking about it today and last week, because we're all influenced by our environment and the people that we know. And this person is very dear to me, and I've known him for a very long time, and he's a very close friend of the Patnaud family. So it's very difficult to see that person lose his mind. So how are you challenging your mind? Are you learning something new every day? And are you really focused and attentive? There's more and more research on this plasticity of the brain, and it's very interesting. There's software, there's games you can do online to help the brain. Even my daughter has a small game that I play with her, which is really cool. I'm not sure if you've seen this little game. It's called Colors. And on the card, it says yellow, but it's written in black. So that's a way to challenge your brain. Left side, left hemisphere, right hemisphere, to try to overwrite. You want to say yellow because it's written yellow, but it's black, and it's a speed game. So that's just an easy way to challenge the mind. It could be as mundane and simple as that. But when you do that training or that skill, that new skill that you're trying to develop, make sure that you're totally focused and that there's meaning, like you're really focused on improving. So in Neigong or internal war energy, there's something called Dao Zou. Dao Zou is reverse training. There's other research with kids with reverse training. They say that a kid that can perform tasks reverse, that means walking backwards or running backwards. If you have kids yourself, if you ask your child to run backwards, what usually happens? They usually fall on their butt. But as they get better at it, that's a simple way to improve your child's brain function, is by having them do reverse training. And it's not just good for kids, it's very good for adults as well. And I do a lot of reverse training. It can be as simple as walking backwards. For runners out there, have you ever tried running a 200 meter or 400 meter in reverse? It's way more challenging to do that. Or if you're running, try to skip rope as you're running forward. I can guarantee you won't run more than 200 to 400 meters without feeling a bit gassed out. So it's very important to challenge yourself. If you're always in that habit of doing the same thing, then that's detrimental to your brain health and your neuroplasticity. You have to be constantly learning something new. And what's nice about martial arts is that there's always something new to learn. There's a new technique, a new locking technique, a new weapon that you can improve. That's why if you are a martial artist, I think you're very smart, very wise to implement martial arts in your daily life. Stick with it. There's a reason why old masters, 90, 95 years old, are still very, very sharp mentally. Especially those that challenged themselves and did, let's say, the old Filipino masters, they can still move the stick because of that hand coordination, the nervous system, doing both sides, cross-side. It's very important to stay young, youthful. So think about that. Daozo is the same idea of doing reverse, everything in reverse. When you wake up in the morning, walk backwards to the bathroom or walk backwards down the stairs to the kitchen. So think about how can you implement reverse training in your own daily routine. And the other thing that you can do, and I have a list of things that I do, but one is very simple, and my dad taught me this and other instructors, is to blindfold yourself or just close your eyes. When you wake up in the morning, keep your eyes closed and go about your morning routine with eyes closed. If you can't keep your eyes closed, then put a blindfold on if you have one, tucked away beside your bed maybe. So if you're doing the blindfold drill, disclaimer, be smart, no accidents, but if you're responsible, you can do this exercise. Keep your eyes closed for the whole first hour or the first 10 minutes, let's say, and walk to the bathroom or brush your teeth with eyes closed. Go down the stairs, prepare some food, drink water, pour water. Try to use other senses to go through about that morning ritual that you have, whatever it is, and be safe and be smart. Try to implement these two concepts to start. Remember before we talked about too much too soon? Then I could give you all 50 items, but you won't do one of them. Just start with 2 items. Keep in mind doing things in reverse. That's one. And close your eyes and do a task without your eyes. These are very powerful ways to improve or to challenge your brain. And I might put out a quick ebook or a PDF of all 50 exercises that I do to increase or to challenge the mind on a daily basis. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. It's about improving you, your own mind, the brain. That's your main central computer. Make sure to take care of it. Yes, the body, it has to be strong, it has to be flexible, but it does start here. You have to tend to this garden, the garden between your ears. Make sure it's healthy, and that you can produce fruit or veggies by means of ideas and staying sharp, having a great memory. So challenge your mind, do these two exercises, these two tasks for this week, and let me know next week how it went and how did you feel. Until next week, I'm Sibbach Martin Patnode. Master yourself, and I'll see you soon.